I want you to take your time and watch this video. In this video, you are going to learn step by step how to increase your financial status in every month, what to do in every month to be able to increase your financial status. So take your time and watch the video.
The first 4 months, I want us to follow this procedure. The first month, meaning immediately after watching this video, that is your month one. The month one, this is where I want you to focus on who you are. When I say who you are, I don't mean your name and where you come from. I mean in terms of the finances. Check out on what goes on in your life. How or what is the source of your income? Are you employed? Are you a self-employed? How much do you make? How much do you use? How much do you leave aside? And if you check on that, what you leave aside, in the next period of 9 months, if does not answer the question of you being rich, then understand the formula that you're using. It is not correct. This is what I want you to do. The month one is basically you focusing on the things that are your weaknesses. You are an impulse buyer. You don't know how to budget your cash. You are not making more money. Why are you not making more money? Can you find a way of making more money and such kind of a thing? And again, what does more money means to you? Generally, the first month, this is when you work on your numbers and you also work on your mindset. Listen, if you can't believe you can't be so in a 9 month, then it means you cannot be able to do so. So the first thing, you shift your mindset, shift the way you think, shift the way you perceive money. Don't view money as a product to be consumed, but as a tool to make more money. Are we together? You remember that example I gave on an older video, whereby if you have the money and if you don't have the money, then you are told to go out there and make more money. Someone who has the money will actually has the high tendency of making more money compared to the other. So view it as a tool more than a whatever. So nothing much will happen in the first month, because here you are strategizing about your life. Focus whether there is the black tax that is actually gobbling down your money. It is because of the family members, it's because of your problems and such kind of thing. Now the month two, you now start focusing on the thing you say that you're gonna do on the first month. Let's say, for example, you've decided or realized that you are employed, you're earning 10,000, 20, 50, 100, whichever the amount of money it is, and you've actually noticed that that money that you want in a month, let's say, for example, let's get practical. Let's say, for example, in a month, this particular time, you have realized you earn 40,000 in a month, okay? Or whichever the amount of money. And let's say you can manage to set aside 10K. Therefore, you have actually decided, if you are to set aside 10K multiplied by 9, which is our 9 month, you're going to have yourself like 90,000. Of course, this 90,000 may not mean much to you and probably may not mean that you are rich, but to some people it means that they are rich. Now, what you do, you understand now, starting the second month or the second month, you're gonna focus on doing what? Upscaling yourself, making sure that you can have some ways that will help you to make more money. Now, the first month, or rather after the first month, the second month, this is where now you look for a what? You look for a skill. Are we together? Now, this is where the answer is as far as making or being rich in 9 months is. Listen, if there is the shortest way to become wealthy in the shortest period of time, it is sales. I repeat, if there is the shortest route to become wealthy in this life that we live, it's sales. What are you selling? I'm not telling you go buy like sneakers and buy yourself, I don't know, funny things and you start selling. Buy yourself bananas and plantains and start selling. No, that is the not concept of selling. Personally, I sell things. And what do I sell? I sell ebooks, I sell booklets, I sell my services. And of course, if you watch this video, YouTube is actually a source of income. It actually earns me money each and every month, if you didn't know. So selling, the ability to communicate. And I know why you hate selling. You hate selling because you hate buying. I repeat, you know why you hate selling? You hate selling because you hate buying. Whenever somebody who is selling something shows up to your place, like Kong Kong, hey, I'm so and so, I would like to sell you 10 years. Nah, I don't want to buy it today. See, you hate buying, therefore by default, you're going to hate selling. But you view selling as a wrong thing. Listen to what I want to tell you here. You acquire a skill. Which skill can you acquire in this era that you're living in? There are very many skills that you can get. By the way, listen, first of all, you don't complicate the things, okay? You ask yourself, even before acquiring that particular skill, what can you be able to do? Are we together? Can you cook? Oh, yes, you can cook. I mean, there's a certain dish that you usually cook and you feel so good, and people tell you, wow, you cook so nice. Do you sing and people tell you, oh my goodness, you can say, do you talk and people be like, oh my goodness, I love the way you talk. I love your language. I mean, I love your aura, the confidence, the charisma, your communication skills, the way you walk. I mean, you can catwalk. I mean, the way you usually relate with the people. Someone comes to you and they have a problem. Oh, yesterday we had some wrangles with my husband or my wife and whatever. And you sit them down and you talk to them. Probably you don't even have a degree on psychology and what have you, but you just have that talent, that ability, that thing that you're created with inside of you. You can be able to sort of be like, oh my goodness, I didn't even see it from that perspective. Thank you very much for helping me. That is money lying there, but you cannot be able to see it. And that is the shortest way to make cash in your life. I have used that personally and it works. What am I talking about? A skill. Once you acquire that particular skill, now you learn the skill of also now selling that skill. So you can be good at a very good skill. Let's say you can cook very nice fufu, very nice chapatis, very nice chicken biryani, very nice, but you cannot sell yourself. If you cannot sell yourself, that skill that you have, it will be useless. You cannot sell, you cannot make money out of it. See, once you acquire the skill on the second month, you leverage. Either you have the skill, if you have the skill by the second month, no problem. Boom, you jump into the monetization of that skill that you have. And if you do not have the skill, you might need the first month, the second month, and probably you might need the third month to learn the skill again, depending with the skill that you are learning. Are we together? Let's assume that you need the second only 2 months to learn a skill. Okay, are you together? Let's say you need the 2 months to learn a skill. So at this particular 2 months, you get yourself a skill, and this skill is what you are looking for is a product or a service to sell. Are we together? That is what we are looking for. Now, guess what happens now? You become a master of something. Can you imagine waking up and learning one thing continuously? So you become a master of one thing by the third month. Now, after you've clocked the third month here, you come now to the fourth month. Now, what happens the fourth month? The fourth month now here, you learn what we call monetization. Monetization. How do you monetize? Please. Okay. One day when I will go to heaven, I will be asked whether I told you this. And this is the time that I'm sharing you this information. And up to now, you're still watching me. Thank you very much. Listen, the shortest way to create more money and more wealth at a shorter period of time, it is simply using the formula that I'm teaching you here. There is no, this is the formula. Now, once you hit the fourth month, you must have the ability to sell that what you know. You know, people be like, okay, hey, Joseph, I'm a teacher. How can I sell my services? You know, you can be a very good, by the way, let me ask a question. Let's say you are employed. Why do you think that person has employed you? Because you have skills that guy can sort of utilize from you and be able to pay you. I mean, if you're valueless, that person wouldn't love you or wouldn't want you in their business. Let's say they have employed you as an accountant because you are too good with the numbers. Let's say they have employed you as the customer care because you are too good when it comes to speaking with customers before sales service, after sales service, on sales service, and what have you. You can actually be able to create even a company out of that. Tell people, teach people how they can relate with customer. You can teach people about customer care. I get invited to some companies. There was one company I was invited where they actually follow up on the loans. If you default, they are the people who they handed over to you. They keep on calling you. I was invited there to teach them how they can be able to retrieve money from the customers, how to carry themselves, how to become and what have you. See, now you learn the skill of monetization. Are we together? Now you monetize that. Let's say, for example, you're very good at cooking chapati. People tell you, now cook a very nice chapati. Fine. Why don't you prepare a very nice recipe of a single page, just a single page? I say, get on your computer, sit down, write down. You take water, 3 cups, salt, you take 2 eggs if you add eggs, whatever, you roll, you do this, you do this. After 10 minutes, you start rolling, then boom, you have yourself the very nice flaky chapatis. Okay, for those who do not know chapati, just like a tortilla, around dough, whatever the thing it is, okay? Fine. Now, see, if you understand that, now you make that a very nice chapati. And then you make videos about that. For God's sake, in anything that you do, turn on your camera. Simple. You're cooking, turn on your camera. You're talking, turn on your camera. You're advising, turn on your camera. You do that. See, you learn the skill of monetization. Now, guess what you do? You're done with the first phase of the first 4 months of your 9 months. Now you get into the serious business. On the 5th month, that's what you've learned, you're monetizing it, and then you have a product to sell or a service to sell. Say you have that recipe of how preparing a very nice chapatis, you're making videos. Your video, put it on TikTok, put it on Instagram, put it on LinkedIn, put it on YouTube, put it where? Put it on Facebook, where you can go, it can be trendy. That video will be watched, and you can use a very simple formula, 10 for 1, 10 for 1. I got this formula from Vusi Tembekwayo, one of the greatest people I might follow. 10 people watch your video, 4 shows interest, and 1 buys. Boom, you are in business. Sell this particular recipe for as little as $1. For example, you can sell it as $1. That is equivalent like 100 shilling or something like that. Sell that particular thing. Get people, then share your number with them. Tell them, hey, you'd like to get that particular recipe of making this nice chapatis and what have you. Boom. By the way, if you're very good at teenagers and kids and what have you, just prepare a very nice ebook. Tell them, you know what, if you have a problem handling your teenagers and what have you, or you can tell people, hey, you know what, you're a young mother or a new mother, you're getting started with kids. I have been having this experience with me. I have 4 kids who are grown up. They are doing this, they are doing that. And there's something that I know how you can be able to handle your kids and do this and this and that. Prepare an ebook. You have yourself an ebook. Get yourself on social media and you can be able to sell that particular book. Use the formula 10 for 1. Done. You're in business. You're selling. You're converting. Now, on the 5th month, now that's where you get into the market. You're testing the market. Of course, you'll receive some backlash. Of course, you get some people criticizing you. Of course, you get some people telling you, hey, why don't you read your book and sell and do those business and do whatever the thing and just why don't, because we have haters on the social media. You have to be an individual who is strong. On the 6th month, you're now becoming an expert. Remember, you don't have a lot of time to waste because you're remaining with like 4 or 3 months because you used a lot of time here to learn a skill, monetization, you test the market. From the 6th month, you are in business. By the time you hit the 7th month, still you are learning more and more. You can be able to do what? There's something called ad. Are we together? You can pay a couple of shillings, couple of dollars. You go do what we call the Facebook ad. You can do what we call the Google ads. You can be able to do Meta ads. You can be able to do Instagram ads and what have you. Get yourself an ad. An ad is simply that advertisement that you usually see before you watch video. Probably you're watching this video and there's some ads coming and you're like, oh my goodness, what is this ad coming? And you get a thing. That is actually how we earn. Are we together? Then you can be able to run those ads. Hey, you know what? Just prepare a very nice kit and very nice good video. And you can contact somebody who has done digital marketing. They can be able to advertise your product. They can be able to put your product out there and you'll be able to make some cash. If you are camera shy, you can be able to make a very nice video and then be able to go run that a particular ad on Facebook, go run that particular ad on Instagram, and people can be able to purchase that particular product. That is it, guys. On the 7th month, you're now becoming an expert. By the time now you're clocking the 8th month, you become an expert of that particular thing. For example, right now as you speak, as I'm making this video, I have over 210,000 people who follow me because of things to do with investments, money, cash, and everything. Because I have been tested by time like, hey, you know what? I can be able to follow this guy. This guy has something that he can share. This guy, there's something that he knows that we don't know. You show people that you have something that you can share with them. They will keep on coming back, sharing that, understanding that, learning that, exercising that, and what have you. That is exactly. By the time now you're clocking the 8th month, you will not only be selling your product, but you now become a what? An expert in that particular industry. If it is about cooking, if it is about selling lands, if it is about Savia, it's about, you know, psychology, it's about counseling, if it's about guidance, about kids, about, you get what I'm saying? By the time now you clock here, you will be good to go. By the time now you clock your 9th month, that is by the end of this year. Apparently, I'm making this video at around February of this particular 2025. You're barely remaining with like 9 months or 9-ish month. You will be somewhere doing something great and you'll be shocked how much you can be able to achieve in that particular period of 9 months. You know what? This is not an inspiration. This is the real deal, real things that I do personally. And if you can be able to see this, this is exactly how we do the things. Whenever I talk about investments, they take time, they are intentional. That is now where you convert your money that you make in this industry so that at least you can be able to leverage on that, so that you can be able to do what? So that you can be able to go ahead, move from what we call more risky to less riskier and such kind of that. Okay. Now, what happens in life is that anything and everything requires time, requires commitment, requires you be disciplined, consistency, showing up each and every day. Probably by the time now you clock the second month where you're learning a skill, you're gonna feel bored. You're gonna feel like, oh my goodness, this is not my thing. I'm getting tired. The 9 month, will I even make it, and such kind of a thing. Those kind of thoughts usually kick in. But as a human being, you kick them off and be like, you know what? I have to do this because there is no any other option. And I'll have to give this example. By the time now, let's say for example, I take my hands and close your, say, mouth and your nose. Apparently, that's the organs that you use to breathe. What are you gonna do? You're gonna do anything you can to be able to breathe. You're gonna bite my hand. You can actually kick me. You're gonna scratch anything. You're gonna be desperate to breathe. Can you just take life as such? Just assume there was no any other option. Assume that is the only way out. You will make this happen. The message is out there. Remember what? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to make sure that you like the video. Leave a comment on the comment section if you have learned something out of this particular video. And if you have not, probably you expected a very mechanical solution. Oh, you want to be rich in 9 months? Oh my goodness, do this, buy this, die now, boom! 9 months, you have the money. Nah, come on, doesn't work that way. It requires time. It is very much intentional. It's not something that you can just wake up. Come on, let's be realistic. Let's be rich together, guys, because the enemy is poverty. By all means, we have to hit it out there. This is Gift Joseph, as always. And if you need my services in one way, let's say probably you want to create this thing and you don't know nothing, probably you need some more detailed personal guidance, you can always reach me out. My number is always on the description of this particular video. For just a cup of coffee's price, I'm going to take you step by step on how you can do it. This is when we dissect into the details and see the way forward. See you the next time.